I'm Joey Gibson. I run Patriot Prayer, and basically organize rallies on the West Coast, especially in the liberal areas. Basically, for weeks we've been planning a rally in downtown Portland to kind of promote freedom, Christianity, bringing spirituality back into this West Coast. We want to make an impact on the West Coast. That's why we're going into these liberal areas and trying to show people that this isn't about race or social justice. It's about taking on a corrupt government. That's all it's ever been. I want a limited government. I want a small government. I don't want a nanny state. And so that's what's important to me. Now you get all these outsiders trying to latch on or trying to say we're about this or that. No, it's that simple. It's about freedom and spirituality. That's it. I think that's a very bigoted remark on their part to say that. To judge all of us, that's hatred. I mean, that's lies. Lying and hatred goes hand in hand. And what Mayor Wheeler did today is he said that I'm going to go up there and I'm going to have hate speech. I think that Mayor Wheeler should take 2 minutes and just watch any of my speeches, any of them, and I dare him to go up there and say that I preach hate, because that is not true. I preach love and peace and promote freedom. And so I think that people need to look in the mirror. It's not good to judge a whole group of people as if they're all the same. We're all individuals and we're all different. So yeah, I think it's extremely ironic that on June 3rd, in the exact same park that we're going to be in, they're having an anti-capitalist rally and march, and he didn't say one thing about that, not one word, which is crazy to me, and I don't understand that. And then they're also going to be coming together to do training on how to fight, how to defend themselves against racist bigots like myself, I suppose. And he didn't say one word. And so obviously this guy's extremely biased, and he's doing everything he can to keep the conservatives out of Portland. He's obviously afraid of what we got to say, and he's obviously afraid of having an opposing view in downtown Portland. I think that they need to do what they practice. They talked to me about canceling my event so that the community can heal. But I just don't understand why the mayor is so much more against a conservative point of view. Okay, he's so much more concerned about that than he is concerned about Antifa. He needs to come out and speak against Antifa. He needs to speak about some of the things that they do. He's acting like we went around and rioted on May Day. Okay. We went up to Seattle and we kept things nice and calm and peaceful. Last I checked, in Seattle on May Day, there wasn't one window broken. Not one police officer was injured. Nothing burnt to the ground, unlike it did in Portland. I think that Mayor Wheeler should invite us. He should tell us to come in, because we'll keep it a lot more calm and peaceful than when we're not in town. Yeah, like who? Kyle Chapman? Is he racist? I mean, everyone's saying that. They say that he makes this sign. They say that's a racist sign. I'll tell you that I don't want to make fun of people in Portland, because there's people who point out legitimate Nazis who have come to some of the rallies. And I appreciate that. And it's really good. They opened my eyes. But to say that any of my speakers are racist, I mean, that's ridiculous. That's where, I don't understand. I haven't seen the evidence. I haven't seen the proof. So if anyone can point out specific things that Kyle Chapman has done or said, I would really appreciate that, and I'll take a good look at it. So the only thing that sticks out in my mind is Jeremy Christian showed up to that march on 82nd. He showed up with a bat. He showed up all crazy. He was saying a lot of stuff, and he was not a good guy. Very hateful, saying bad things, and he knew how we felt, and he started calling us names, called me derogatory names, started making threats towards us. And he hates Trump, and he hates Trump supporters. Like, he wasn't there to support us. He was there for his own reasons. And in terms of people being vocal about their beliefs in terms of racism, he's the only one that I can think of, that I know of, and we did our best to get him out of there. But like I said, I mean, it's a public area. I mean, you can't just kick people off of a public street. And the cops had warned us too. They said he was a dangerous man, and yeah, obviously he was very dangerous. Two things. Number one, what he's trying to do is he's trying to connect us to Jeremy Christian, which he would love because he doesn't want us in his city. He doesn't want opposing viewpoints. He only wants the liberal talk in Portland. That's what keeps him safe. That's what keeps him in office. And that's really frustrating because if he's going to sit there and connect us to Jeremy Christian, he's being extremely irresponsible because he's supposed to be the leader of that city and he knows that Jeremy Christian has nothing to do with us. So a kid's going to hear that. He's not going to do his research. He's going to show up to this rally. He's going to make a mistake, and he's going to end up in jail. So I think Wheeler needs to be a better leader in Portland. In terms of no matter what I say, no matter what I do, even if they pull our permits, there's going to be hundreds of people down there, okay? And it's going to be one of two situations. We can have a permit. We can have a sound system. I will keep things calm. I will keep things cool, and we will kick people out, anyone who's causing any problems. Or it can just be chaos, and we're talking hundreds of men standing around looking for something to do with no leader, no control, no sound system. So it's one of those two situations. I'll tell you this much: I'll be down there regardless. But even if it doesn't matter, if I told everyone not to go, there's going to be hundreds of people down there regardless. I can guarantee you that much. There'll be several goals, but yeah, that's always my goal. I don't like the violence. I believe that, if we have to defend ourselves, and that happens. It's unfortunate when the police stand down. The Portland police will not stand down. I do believe anyone that's violent will get arrested immediately and thrown into jail. But yeah, that's always my goal. I would rather there be open dialogue. The yelling, the screaming, the cussing, it's getting old, and I'm really sick of it. And that's not what I try to promote because that doesn't accomplish anything. I think we all need to try to understand each other, understand our differences, and basically just find common ground. Because we can't all disagree on everything 100% of the time. There's people who seriously believe that we're all about white supremacy. Like, they seriously believe that's what drives us, that's what motivates us. And if we keep our distance from them, if we don't talk to them, if we don't have dialogue, they will always believe that. Okay, they will believe the lies, or they will believe other people. But when we get down on the streets and we talk to these kids or whatever, we talk to them and they look in our eyes and they see what we feel, and they experience like our hearts and just us talking, then they start to reconsider. They start to understand that we're about a lot of other different things. We don't care about race. That's crazy that people would even look at someone else differently based off of the color of their skin. I don't get that. I never understood that. So that's why I want to bring conservatives onto the streets. Okay, the streets have belonged to the left for too long. I want conservatives and libertarians and constitutionalists. I want all of them to be activists. I want us to be marching. I want us to be on the streets so that we can have an opposing view in these liberal cities. Street preachers, let me explain something about them. They are a lot of things, but they are not racist. They don't care what color skin you are, they still think you're going to go to hell, okay? It's not about race, okay? And plus, most of them are Mexican, black, whatever. They got all kinds of skin colors. They're not Nazis. They're not racist. They don't care who you are. They think everyone's going to go to hell, okay? Now, I disagree with the way they preach. I disagree with their ideology when it comes to God, and a lot of people know that, okay? But I don't have to separate myself from every single person for every single reason, okay? That's what people want. They want us to divide. They want us to stay away from every single person because of this and because of that. They stand for freedom and they stand for free speech, and they don't preach when I'm around, okay? And I'll tell you this much. Anyone who has had my back on the streets when we go out there in dangerous situations, if you've had my back, then okay, come and talk to me about the street preachers, that's fine. But for the rest of you, you don't understand some of the scary situations that I've been in, okay, and for them to have my back, and I appreciate that, okay? And now, there's not a single drop of racism in them, okay? And so that's where I stand on them. I don't have to agree with everything they do or say, but for me, it's that simple. They stand for freedom, they stand for free speech, and they're crazy and they're courageous, so. Free speech is not just the government, okay? People think that if the government gives you free speech that we have free speech. No, I'm talking about I'm talking about brainwashing in our culture. I'm talking about the fact that people are afraid to say they support Trump. That's not right. Okay, we need to feel comfortable to say what is in our hearts and minds. Okay, and that means protecting all speech. And so I'm going to be there, and I'm going to stand up for what I believe in, and I'm not going to say a hateful thing. Not once. I won't do that. Okay, but my issue is the fact that people try to say things, try to do things to deter us from going down there and speaking, and I don't understand what they're afraid of. What is it that I'm going to say that's going to make you guys, when I say you guys, I mean protesters, what are you afraid of that I'm going to say? And if you can look at any of my speeches and talk about specific things that I've said and preached, help me understand what's so hateful and what's so bad.